Uh, Hello to you, soul brothers and sisters, wherever you are, and welcome to another episode of Spiritual Awakening Journey. This time I have with me Tanis Coughlin. Hello, Tanis.
Hi.
And thank you for joining me. Actually, Tanis and I have been planning for this for like more than a week, and then boom, now we have some time and we decided to record it. Thank you
Oh, thank you. It's such an honor. It's
Okay,
really an honor.
so I remind the viewers that in this series, every time I receive new guests, and each time the new guest will share with us their own personal journey of awakening so that we see how we are putting the pieces of the puzzle together. So we were born into a certain life. Everyone is doing this. We were doing the same, and then suddenly, I'm sorry, I didn't have time to prepare. Is that better? And then suddenly things happen, things change, and we tend to look up to think, why is this like that? Why can't it be different? And so on. So Tanis, without
Mm.
further ado, how was it for you? How did the journey of awakening begin with you? You don't have to tell everything, just pick some events that were really like
Yeah.
life transforming for you.
Well, I would say I was in management in home healthcare. I started in home healthcare right after university and was in the field at first, out helping people in their homes, and then worked my way up to management. And when I was in management, it was long days and I was getting burnt out. So I
Mm.
looked for an alternative to help support me. And I found Reiki. So I went to for my first Reiki session, and I was like, I'd never felt so good. I was like, it just felt amazing, like emotionally, physically, energetically. I didn't have those words at the time, and I was like, I need to learn how to do this. So
Mm.
I started to take classes with the Reiki master that I was actually seeing, and that's what started it for me. I always joke about that being my gateway drug. The Reiki is my gateway drug. When I started learning Reiki, I was like, oh, look at this.
Ah, that is
So,
nice.
yeah, and
Can
then
we
it's evolved now.
we're gonna get to that point, but can we have a
Mm-hmm.
time frame, like about 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, between 10 and 12 years ago now, I would
Okay,
say.
just to give an
Probably 12
idea.
years ago for my first one, like for my first Reiki session, and then probably 10 to 11 for when I started actually taking the
Okay,
classes.
okay, that's nice.
Mm,
So you
mm,
started learning. That was the first thing. Ah, energy.
yeah,
Okay. And
yeah.
then,
Well, and then, as I went through the levels, as you raise your vibration, right, your senses open up more, and started seeing the dead. And so that was a little bit of a shocker. I was like, okay, what is this? What do I need to do with this? So it was kind of like as these things started for me, I would look for the resources or they would show up, right? The
mm,
resources would show up for me
yes, yes.
as I
That's
needed them, as they often do.
we talked about that before in previous sessions that when you start asking the questions,
Yep.
answers will come. The universe will bring answers. Okay. So
Yep.
what do we do with the dead people we see? So
Yeah. So I found out that I was a medium and that I was, meant to start crossing them over. That was part of my journey.
Mhm.
So I started crossing them over. I learned how to do that. I'm just turning my light down. I look a little bit shiny
Yeah,
here.
I didn't
There we
get
go.
time, guys, to adjust my and I was actually on a group meditation in a Zoom meeting. I was relaxed, sleeping, and then Tennis tells me, I got a cancellation. Do you have time? I told her, you have 4 minutes. Come on.
And here we are. So
So that's spontaneous. Actually, today, Tennis, really, it was perfect timing. You told me we can postpone. No, because just today I posted a video on YouTube about the energies, what's going to happen this month on the equinox, and you messaged me. It's like, we're gonna talk about a few things.
I think we are. I think we are.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
So it started it, and you have embarked on this spiritual journey. So let's just remind quickly the viewers, we are both coaches, healers, energy healers, and we do lots of stuff. We're not gonna go very deep into that, but just today, the message I have shared is that the energies are shifting. Whatever is coming is pushing people to go and do the inner work, the
Mhm.
clearing, and so that they reach out for whoever comes across their way. Like, say, today we are talking about clearing, healing. They find
Yep.
us, we are everywhere, we are waiting for people to help. So,
Mhm.
and so that is what it started it, your burnout. So let me clarify, your fatigue, you
Mhm.
needed, but
Well,
did you
I have
also have,
fibromyalgia as well. So the
Mm,
fibromyalgia was acting up at the same time as the
okay,
burnout. So there was like the fatigue, there was the
mm,
physical aches and pains,
mm.
and that comes with anxiety and stuff too. So that was part of it. Of course, the burnout is
I,
also.
I want to go there.
So,
I want to
yeah.
go there with you. So we have had these. Do we need to add any other major thing from your awakening journey before we move on to
Well, initially, I was in one management position, and
yeah.
that ended.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a slow learner, so I went into another management position that was similar. And
Mm-hmm.
the situation was the energy there was even worse than where I had been. So
Mm-hmm.
heading towards another burnout when that ended as well. And so that was like I needed
So the
to not be there.
universe was pushing you out of this experience. It's just as it did to me when
Exactly.
I wanted to do my PhD. It's like
Yeah.
I go there, it didn't work. I go there, didn't work, didn't work, didn't work. Stop. The universe is saying no. And just
Yes.
recently, as I was applying for different jobs, didn't work, didn't work, didn't work. That hey, stop. The universe is talking to us this way. It wants us to look somewhere else. But
Exactly.
but at the beginning of our awakening journey, we don't even know that
Exactly.
someone is talking to us. The universe is talking to us, taking us on a wonderful spiritual journey. So, in this journey, so you went into the Reiki, and then you went into mediumship, and you did lots of studies, and you work with crystals and all
Yeah.
that.
So I'm
So
a crystal
we,
master too. I started getting quite fascinated with them and started using them in my
yeah, and
practice.
as you said, the our consciousness expands. But in this journey, is it just about only learning new things, or is it also about shedding things from within?
Yes.
Because both you and I are specialized in trauma healing.
Yes.
So, and
Because we've had to do our own, right?
we have been through our own, yes. And I
Yeah.
remember from one of our interviews, you said something wonderful, Tanis. You said, how can I be a healer when I am still healing myself? I still remember that. And I
Hmm.
said the
That
same
was
thing.
my questioning myself at the time, right? How can I possibly do this work? It was like that self-sabotaging thought,
Yeah, but
right?
that I asked the same question, and this is very important because people sometimes ask us, I mean, how could you be a healer and you are healing your own stuff? It is because we learned to heal these traumas. We became healers, professionals in these traumas, and so on. So we had to do the clearing of our own selves, right, Tanis?
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
had to.
And our journey of clearing and healing is never done. While we're
Never,
here,
never.
we're always going to be doing that. So you can't put off helping others. And my experience has been that I always end up with the clients that I'm ready to see. So,
Mm.
early on in my practice, I wasn't seeing the heavy duty trauma clients. I wasn't seeing them. It was the ones that were just getting into Reiki and they were just starting to open up. And so that's kind of the stage I had just been through as they start to come in, right? And then once I start doing a little bit more for myself, I realize, oh, all of a sudden I'm
Dealing with more
better with
advanced.
this, and now I'm more advanced clients. And it
Yes.
was a natural transition for
It
me.
is.
And that's how the guides work, right?
That's how the guide was with everybody. This is amazing. I mean, by healing others, we are also healing ourselves, and it's a fantastic journey. So
Yes.
now, today, the message that I have posted, and I'm gonna post again, the energies are shifting exponentially on Earth. So when they
Yeah.
happen, when the energies are so intense, what happens to people, Tanis? What happens to them? What are these energies? What are they doing to people?
So we've got a lot of solar flares.
Mhm.
So I'm going to talk the sciencey part first. So the solar flares like send stuff at the Earth's atmosphere,
Mhm.
which like bumps the Earth atmosphere, which creates a vibratory effect on the Earth. So the Earth is measured by the Schumann resonance scale. The Schumann resonance scale has had huge spikes lately. So when people are saying to you that the Earth's vibration is raising, that's where they're getting the information from. There's a lot of talk about, and it sounds all airy fairy, when people say, oh yeah, the vibration of the Earth is raising, and you're like, well, where's your proof? Well, the Schumann resonance is your proof. So if somebody asks you that, go and even NASA measures the Schumann resonance. So that's where you can send them, guys. Okay.
Mhm.
So as the Schumann resonance has these spikes, basically our vibration raises. When our vibration raises, it forces the denser energy to come out, because we can't hold more light in our body with the dense energy there. And so it comes in and all of our stuff comes up.
The
Where we
stuff.
have to go, okay, that doesn't feel very good. All right, let's get rid of this. Yeah, I'm feeling it. We do the tears, or we do the acceptance, or the forgiveness, or the compassion, whatever it is that is coming up for you. And then we're like, okay, now I need to release it. And this is the part that's difficult for people sometimes, is the actually releasing, right?
The release, and the fact that they're not even aware of what is happening. It's like stuff is coming out. I'm getting angry. The things are not working with me at work, in relationships. They don't know what is happening. That's because the light is increasing, pushing us to do the inner work, the letting go.
Right.
So stuff goes out for us to clear. And that is wonderful. Now, another thing, so what stuff are we letting go of mainly?
Oh, okay. Well, that could be depending on the person, but a lot of times it's trauma, right? So a lot of times it's childhood stuff. And when we think about the word, that trauma is being said a lot these days,
and
right?
we want to talk about that. I mean, people are scared of the word trauma. They consider, no, we don't have trauma, but we all do. We all, no exception, we all do. So
we all do.
What do you mean by trauma? So say it in your own words.
Well, when I talk about trauma, it can be those little things that happened when you were a child that now you look back at it and you're like, why would I have trauma about that? But when you're like a 3-year-old experiencing it, it's huge. And it feels like a trauma.
Not just 3 years old. I mean, when I
any age. I just use that as an example.
Yeah, maybe a relationship in the 20s or something like that had repercussions. Maybe something now recent, but
of course
is rooted in old patterns that we need to go and find. So it starts from the now. What is my issue in the now? We look at it and we go find the source of it. Yes, I'm sorry.
I often work with when I'm working with the clients, I'll often ask them to I'll walk them through asking 5 whys. This is like root cause analysis from business, right? If something happens in business, you ask 5 whys, you get to the root cause as to what happened. So I use that with my clients. So they'll say, I lost it in traffic today. Okay, let's talk about that. So why did you lose it in traffic? Well, because it was all backed up. Okay, why does that matter? Well, because I was going to be late. Okay, why does that matter? Right? Well, because the people at the other end are going to be upset with me. Okay, why does that matter? Well, I don't want them to not be friends with me. Okay, why does that matter? Well, I don't want to be alone.
Yeah, or I don't want to be kicked from work. Yeah, I'm scared of money scarcity. It could be lots of things.
Could be scarcity, could be abandonment. You know, a
Mhm.
lot of us have abandonment stuff. And sometimes that comes from a simple trauma when you're a kid, like your parent left you with the neighbor while they went somewhere for, and you experienced it as this huge, like if you'd been with your mother the whole time, you know, and then all of a sudden, and I'm using the 3-year-old thing just as an example, 3 years old, your mother says, okay, I've been with you for 3 years. I need a break.
Mhm.
I'm going away for the weekend. And they leave you somewhere. And all of a sudden, it's like as a 3-year-old, you're like ripped away from this person who feeds you and keeps you safe and loves you and gives you everything that you need. And now all of a sudden you don't have any of that. And you're like,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
What Tanis is trying to say is that sometimes very small things, they are really absurd and meaningless in the child, create big things, big issues. Now, when people want to hear about healing traumas, they don't really want to think about childhood. But if we want to heal the present moment, the roots are somewhere in the past. We find them and we sort of heal them, and the solution would be to that. I mean, basically what? It's forgiveness and letting
It
go.
is forgiveness and compassion,
Forgiveness
right?
and
For
compassion.
self and the other person in the
Mm, mm,
situation.
mm, mm.
So I often will use the Ho'oponopono with people.
Yeah, I use it too. I use it too.
Yeah,
And I use
so simple.
I use tapping as well. I use tapping. But the Honopono is good, but as we just mentioned something here lately, just now. So going to the roots, and sometimes the root issue is deeply repressed in the subconscious mind, and that is why people cannot sometimes do it on their own. They
That's right.
need an external coach or healer to help, to facilitate, to simply facilitate, because actually they are themselves doing the healing, right?
That's right. Yeah. We don't do that really, right? We're not
Mm,
really doing the healing. All I do
no,
is guide people
no, no,
to do
no.
their own healing.
They are,
And
they are. We're
that
just the
comes,
medium, the small, yeah.
yeah. I just ask the questions
Mm,
and the answers present themselves, right? And it's not even, and you know, I also want to clarify, like I'm not a psychologist in any way. That is not what I do. Um, but we can actually feel the energy of the trauma in our system when we feel into it.
mm, mm,
So, for instance, with the abandonment thing, okay, with my
mm,
example of the being abandoned with your mom, okay. So, with that, I would ask the person to close their eyes, totally relax, and try and relax all the muscles, and then I would have them picture their mom
mm.
in the situation, and then I'd have them do a body scan again, and you'll actually feel where the tension is that you're holding that because
Mm.
it's a bunch of energy. It's a dense
You
pocket
can
of
find
energy.
it. You can find it.
Yeah.
Actually, there are lots of approaches. We come with a group of tools, and psychotherapy is no longer the only way, because in my approaches I mix lots of things. I see the character of the person. Sometimes I may do visualization with someone, or role
Mhm.
play to get to see where they are stuck.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do hypnotherapy with some people to go into the subconscious mind, but hypnotherapy sometimes is not. Sometimes I use art to
Mhm.
see where something is stuck. So it is the stuff we have, the group of tools that it took us many years to combine together, this multidisciplinary. And I love the multidisciplinary approach, where
Mhm.
you use your empathy actually, and all the knowledge and data you collected to find that thing. So once we find that thing, we release it via lots of exercises. Atanis just suggested Honopono. There is the energy release. There are lots of things to
Mhm.
release. What could you have people do to release? For instance, you gave the example of the
Mhm.
child, and you
Yeah.
find the energy. So
Yeah. So if we find that it's the mother, then I would do the Ho'oponopono with the mother, right?
mhm, mhm,
And as they do the Ho'oponopono, they will actually feel that tense pocket
mm,
start to dissipate because it's energetic. It's not about the psychological aspect of it, right? It's
Yeah, it
the
is.
energetics.
It is.
So we can release it that way. We can release it with sound healing. We can release it with energy healing, like Reiki, Nukti. Nukti's a great
And
for trauma.
and one thing, people think they want to go, and now that's the question. Does one really want to find the core issue and remove it, solve it? Or does one, if you want, just take a pill to mask it? Often people go to do the clearing work and they think of like magical sessions, give you one session and it will be fine. No, she suggested Honopono, which is a sort of affirmation we say to one another, but sometimes it's not enough. We need to
Yep.
do more and to do more and to do more. And she mentioned Nocti. It is something she downloaded. I did not introduce the concept of download in the series yet. So
Okay.
let me introduce it now. This is a chance to so
Mhm.
once we embark on this spiritual journey, so what is happening now with the energies intensifying, Tanis, and with now the opening, what happens just before I go into the using the word? So what is happening to us? We're coming up with new ideas. We are
Mhm.
mixing disciplines, new
Yes.
disciplines, no longer what we studied, all the diplomas and all the degrees. And where do these ideas come from? What is happening? This is what I'd like to explain. How are
Mhm.
we learning these new things? What do they have to do with the sun and the codes? What are codes?
Yeah. So we get downloads of different codes. And downloads is basically an influx of energy that has knowledge embedded into it. And so we get that from our guides. We get it from our galactic brothers and sisters, which is the case with Nukti, right?
Yeah, we are talking about up there. So
Yeah.
when we connect to our divine self, guys, if you find this talk a bit weird in advance, please do start from the beginning. The series, it's a course going step by step, but today I took a parenthesis because I never discussed the downloads. So
Mhm.
with the solar flares, Tanis explained at the beginning, the sun is intensifying and it is bringing with it codes. Codes are not like abracadabra stuff. It is wisdom, knowledge straight from source. The more we connect, the more we have this inner knowing, and we are guided on using intuitively. That is why now we are called intuitive healer,
Yeah.
because it's no longer only the studying that is enough. New information is now coming to Earth to match
Yes.
the new frequencies on Earth, and each one of us receive certain intuitive things and ideas to call either directly with this person, a specific client that we are working on. We feel guided by our spirit guides up there, okay? Angels, guides, they are guiding us. We don't see phantoms or something. Each one feels it differently. It's an inner knowing to some people, it's a feeling to others, it's a vision to others. They guide us sometimes directly for that particular client. For other times, it is something general that could be useful for the collective, like the Nocti that Tanis downloaded, which is an energy. Can you explain?
Mm-hmm. So it's a Pleiadian energy. So it comes from the Pleiades, and that's a galactic
Kind of
star
energy.
system.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
star system. And so there's 7 stars that create the Pleiades, and so it comes from that area. And it's basically a high vibration frequency. So Reiki is one thing, and it has certain characteristics of energy. So when I'm doing Reiki alone, it's very warm and comforting, feels like a warm hug kind of thing, right? When I do Aqualead, which is a different energy healing modality, it has that energy has the qualities of feeling like waves as it comes through the body. That's really good for inflammation and stuff. When I do Nukti, it feels almost like kinetic feeling. It's like feeling this really lightly,
Mm.
in the energy field. And so it has a different quality of energy. And so for Nukti, that's the quality that came through. And what it does is it actually reprograms the cytoplasm within the cells to release the frequency of grief and trauma. So it creates a new frequency within the cells.
Actually, yes, yes. The energies now we are receiving new codes because our DNA is changing, transforming. We are shedding the old, the trauma, the old concept, the old stuff, and integrating the new. And that's a wonderful thing. Tanis, when we exchange sessions, you and I, by the way, I do exchange. We coaches and healers love to exchange sessions to play. So I gave her an angel healing session, which is a really powerful thing. And she gave me with this. Did you give me the Nocti or something else?
Yeah, for me, they all combined whatever that person.
Yeah, but
because
I
that's
mean,
what I asked, right? So you did
okay.
get no. Yeah.
Yes. So tell me about the experience you had with me, and I tell them about my experience with you. And we are talking, guys, in the ether. Tanis
Yeah.
is in Canada. I am located in Turkey, and we got the chance to connect, to feel each other, and have same parallel visions.
Yeah.
Tanis, what did you feel from the angel healing session that I did, and we did later a visualization? What was the feeling you received? And
it was
this
a
is to tell
beautiful
the
warm.
audience. Well, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a beautiful warm hug. Like the angels are so loving, right? So I could tell as soon as you called them in, and it was like this overwhelming love feeling that happens, right? And then they start working with the energy, and they work with you with the energy. And so it's kind of this, it's almost like it feels like a beautiful energetic dance.
Exactly. And they point out exactly where the work should be done. They are fabulous. And
They are.
the same with Tanis when we exchanged she gave me the session. I knew exactly where she was working. I told her you are working here and there. That's because we already did the work, guys, and this is not something that only us can do. This is something that all humanity is supposed to be doing, but we have awakened before, and we started doing the clearing for years, and the learning and the integrating for years and years. So we started having more space within. That space within allowed all this growth, and we still both are humble enough to say that we will keep on learning and we will keep on clearing, because it's a spiral that still goes up. So Tanis, basically, so wonderful energies Tanis has, really.
You too.
Yeah, and we're doing it from the heart. That's because we are doing it from the heart, and you can feel that, okay? And if we want to give an advice to people for whatever is going to come, because March 22nd, it's the equinox, and then things are going to intensify for the next 2 months. What advice can we give them, Tanis?
Just don't be afraid of the changes. There's a lot of fear in the collective. When I say collective, it's the collective consciousness of Earth. So we're all tapped into that. And when we feel into that fear, it lowers our vibration. And that can be debilitating over a long period of time. So try to stay out of the fear of what is coming. Try to stay in love for yourself and others. And so what I mean by that is doing the self-care. So doing the clearing sessions for yourself, and if you haven't done any of that stuff, start with meditation. Meditation brings your vibration up really quickly and easily. And so many people say they can't meditate.
Everybody it is difficult. It is difficult. That is why I'm posting videos for meditation, guided meditation, to help people. And with these energies, Tanis,
yes,
I meditate and I'm finding it hard to meditate. So
Yeah.
meditation, breathing. I would add breathing.
Yeah.
Maybe this is easier. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
breathing,
Don't be scared.
even
Breathe.
walking becomes a moving meditation, right? It doesn't have to be that whole traditional clear your mind. It can just be mindfulness even. Go out and sit on a bench, feel the breeze on your skin, be
Connect with
conscious of the
nature.
sun, feel the sun, all of that stuff. And just be conscious of that. It's like being in the moment. Please, I would encourage people and invite you to not think too much of the future, right? We're in a huge transition period. Try to stay in the present moment and enjoy the present moment. There's always something to enjoy about every moment, something to be grateful for.
And that's the thing, the present moment, because when we are bombarded with problems, we forget to stop, breathe, and feel the present moment. Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
do not how to say, hesitate to ask for help, to go
Yeah.
look for people who may help you, because we have had help. We
Of
didn't
course.
do it on our own. It's impossible. We need the help.
We're
And
all in this together. Community is key.
community, we are all in this together, all helping each other, pushing each other. And one last word about, you said the calming energies.
Mm-hmm.
What could you tell us about them?
There's a lot of change,
Mm.
right? That's why I was saying self-care is key, because as we get these waves of energy that come in, it creates a change in our vibration. It creates a change in our body. It creates a change in how we view things.
Mm.
So, be open to different ideas.
It might create conflicts and things, and the energies are gonna be very sort of powerful. Now, before I finish, I'm gonna remind the viewers, do not forget, please, to hit the subscribe button, like, share, and do comment. Do comment. Share your experiences if you feel you want to ask questions, or you were inspired by something. Information about Tanis will be written below, if you want to visit her website. Or check her stuff. She does lots of stuff, amazing stuff.
We joke
And
about I just do stuff.
yeah, we joke about it because the list is long. I mean, I was trying to choose, what am I gonna say? Art therapist, chakra energy clearing, angel healing, hypnotherapy. What? It's quantum reiki. What am I? It's very long list, and here Tanis has also a very long list. One of them is mediumship. We forgot to say that. Yeah.
Yep. I'm also a channel, so I channel.
Yeah,
info
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So let us put an intention, a good
Mhm.
intention for the new energies. We wrap up with a small like breathing. This is intuitive, guys. We did not plan on anything, she just called me and, Tanis, let's take a few breaths. We're gonna see what we may feel. We wanna leave as final affirmations or words to people to assist them in this journey. We begin by, sorry, taking a breath. We breathe in, we breathe out, we breathe in, we breathe out. We connect to heaven, and we connect to earth. We are not alone on this journey. We are all connected. We are all one family on earth, and we are one family with earth and one family with the stars. We have never been alone. We are never alone. Tanis, would you like to give an affirmation, something?
So what I'm hearing is enjoy the ride,
Enjoy the ride.
be playful,
Be playful.
be loving,
Mm-hmm.
be compassionate
Be compassionate. And these
to
are
yourself as well as others.
these
Mhm.
are the energies of New Earth, the new energies that we are stepping into. Forgive and let go.
Move
We are
forward.
all one family. We are all one family. There is no separation. There is no me. You,
Mhm.
you. No,
We're all connected.
we're all connected. We are one family, connected here on this plane and connected in the above. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but we are brave souls to have incarnated at this now moment on earth. You are
Mhm.
extremely brave. All the souls who incarnated now on earth are wonderful, brave souls. And what can I say? Happy ride. As we said, we send you lots of love, lots of love, lots
Mhm.
of light. We are here for you whenever you need us. Do reach out. And Tanis, I want to thank you. Thank you for joining me in this. Would you like to say any final word before we resume?
Just thank you so much for sharing your energy with the world. Nadine, it's a beautiful thing when we get together and share that energy with others. And so, I encourage all of you to just hold space for each other, hold love.
Hold love.
And
Hold space means hold love for each other. That's
yeah,
yeah. That's the most wonderful thing we can do. Yeah. And
and I'm super honored to have been asked to be here today. So thank you so much.
I am. The honor is mine. There is no coincidence. No coincidence. Divine timing. Thank
Yeah.
you. So much love to you, Tanis.
So much love to you
Appreciate
as well.
everything you do. Bye, guys. See you in another episode with another guest. Love, 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 love.
Lots of love.